More information. Here's some more information for y'all. Watch this shit.
Officials in Kiev simply aren't interested in recruiting them.
Ukraine is reluctant to be cooperative.
That's ROUTH, a U.S. citizen who set up the International Volunteer Center in Ukraine to help connect foreigners to Ukrainian military units.
Now I'm talking to over 100 soldiers every day, and pretty much everybody, all of my contacts in Ukraine, they were adamant, pretty much yelled at me every time that I suggested that we bring in Afghans.
The Ukrainian government didn't respond to our request for comment, but a source close to the officials in Kiev told Semafor that their top concern is the question of loyalty in the thick fog of war.
The biggest thing is spies. They're afraid that anybody and everybody is a Russian spy.
Those concerns aren't completely unfounded. Russian officials in Kiev simply are.
That is one of many videos that is coming out right now of Ryan Ruth. I think I have another video here. Hold on. 1 second. Let's see. I mean, it's not normal. It's not healthy. I think they had another video here. But I'll play you guys this video here. Okay.
I have a unique perspective on RFK Jr.'s view of the Trump assassination attempt that we saw on July 13th. We had the harrowing news from the Trump International Golf Course today, where a suspect was apprehended. Apparently there were gunshots fired. It is unclear at this moment if there were any gunfire directed at Donald Trump or in the vicinity of Donald Trump, but according to credible reports from New York Post, CNN, there was some potential danger and a security mishap from the Secret Service. Once again, it's very concerning, something RFK Jr. knows something about very well, because obviously he was denied Secret Service protection for a long time during the campaign, despite the danger to him and to also to Donald Trump. So my question for you is your conversations with RFK Jr. following the assassination attempt, your perspective, his perspective on this. Where do you think we stand in terms of, how this developed? What was his calculation to eventually endorse Donald Trump? And obviously you had conversations about that and had your own opinions. So how did that factor into your tickets calculus?
Yeah, I mean, I watched that assassination attempt with the same concern and shock as the rest of the nation. I think we are in a point in American history that we are so divided in this country, and the left looks at Donald Trump like an existential threat. That's what the media sells them. That's what the party is selling to its followers, and trying to get more and more of the public to think that he's this horrible person. There are people on the left celebrating the assassination attempt, wishing that it was successful. I mean, what kind of country are we in that people are hoping a former president is assassinated? That is appalling. It's really appalling. It's more it's more something to reflect on as it relates to the state of the nation than necessarily the event itself. The event itself is harrowing, but the response. And, Bobby Kennedy and I have always looked at this election as, let's give Americans a third choice. Let's focus on unifying this country. It's been a message that we have cared about since day one. We still care about that message. We really want to heal this nation right now. We really want to stop the lies from, a lot coming from the left, let's be honest, and things that we've learned firsthand as being former Democrats is just what's happened to that party. It's indistinguishable from the party that I grew up with, and their relationship with the truth and facts and the underpinnings of democracy have really gone sideways.
So if I understand you right, I'm just gleaning from what you said, that it wasn't necessarily a tipping point, but it's sort of a background incident that maybe was a compounding or reinforced reviews?
Bobby and I have tried to open dialogue with everyone in this country, whether it be with Biden or Kamala Harris or folks on the left, or with Trump and the RNC and folks on the right. We believe that having open, fair conversation with both sides is really important. So when we saw what was going on with Donald Trump, and Bobby is such an upstanding gentleman, he called him and he just wished him his regards. He said, "I'm glad you're safe." I put out on my ex, thank goodness he's safe. We don't want a former president of the United States being assassinated on live television. I mean, this is we have to move on from this kind of normalcy. This is not normal. This is not healthy. This does not reflect well on our country and the stability and national security of our country. And so Donald Trump then called Bobby back later that day, which is very well documented, public knowledge. Sure. And, keep in mind, there's a man sitting right behind Donald Trump who was murdered that day. So this was a very real, this was a deadly incident. Donald Trump almost lost his life.
Please tell me who you are and why are you here?
I'm 56, from the U.S., from North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now, so flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is a storybook, any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another. And it's just a matter of, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that, we all move forward as one collective whole unit. So, we feel the pain of one country's failure and their conflicts, and we enjoy the successes of other countries that are doing good, and we all work together. And for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit and we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous.
So hold on. We're going to come back to this, but he has the propaganda video of him in Ukraine. I'm going to play that for you. I'm going to show you his propaganda video right now. I'm going to share my screen. It's really wild, man, what's going on in this country. I cannot believe this. Look at this shit. He has a propaganda video for Ukraine. He literally has a propaganda video for Ukraine. Look at this. I didn't know this. That's why I'm doing this late stream. This is his propaganda video for Ukraine. Look, check this out.
Слава Україні! Я вдячний кожному, хто сьогодні виходить на акції в Україні і в світі. Всім, хто розуміє, наскільки критичною є ситуація в Маріуполі. Всім, хто кричить про Маріуполь. Кожен день на Азовсталі – це нові загиблі та нові поранені, яких немає можливості тут лікувати. Увага всього світу зараз прикута до Маріуполя та до Азовсталі. Але цього недостатньо. Потрібно зробити зелений коридор для евакуації нашим пораненим. Потрібно негайно надати їм кваліфіковану медичну допомогу. Повірте, ці хлопці заслуговують на евакуацію. Дайте нам також вивезти тіла та продовжують захищати батьківщину, яка повинна зробити все, щоб ці герої змогли живими повернутися до своїх рідних. Іншої можливості врятувати життя людей на Азовсталі.
World organization with a demand to provide a green is to appeal to world leaders.
being kind, and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
And what are you doing here in Ukraine?
My initial goal was to come and fight. I think, everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army. But I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience. So they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. So they said, not right this minute. So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians. We need, we've got 190 countries around the world, and we need thousands from all of them. If the governments will not send their official military, then we civilians have to pick up the torch and make this thing happen. And we've gotten some wonderful people here, but it's a small fraction of the number that should be here. If we have 5,000, to 10,000 people here fighting, that is just a minuscule amount of the 5 billion people on the globe. We need everyone here fighting. That's why I'm in Kyiv. So every project that I promote is about getting people here to support the Ukrainians. We were at a critical juncture in this war where we are sitting on the fence as far as whether good or evil is going to win. Right now we're looking at a situation where the world is waning, and it's thinking that this is important or not. And we're at a point where, all right, are we going to stand for humanity, for human rights, for everything that is good with the world? Or are we just going to ignore it? If everybody is complacent and doesn't join this fight, then guess who's going to win? It might take 10 years, but we're going to lose this battle if everyone around the globe does not stop what they're doing, get off the couch, and come to Ukraine and then defend the human rights of everyone around the globe. This is the most important thing going on in the world today. So sitting around and letting life go on as normal and complaining about gas prices and complaining about, your luxury life in whatever country you live in is unacceptable. As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world and expect the problem to go away. So I've been dealing with Russia for my entire life. We had one period where it was okay, but now we've let it slip back into terrorism. So it's just, the world needs to respond. Why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that, have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable anywhere, any place, So it's totally unacceptable. And why people are not responding, I do not know.
What impressed you the most since you are here?
My trip to Irpin was pretty emotional. So, going and seeing the buildings that were burned and destroyed and things of that nature. I think more emotional for me is just talking to the guys that have come here. When you talk to a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owns to come here to fight, that is heroism. He's coming here to risk his life for humanity, for the Ukrainians. Guys that sell everything they own to come here and support the Ukrainians while others sit at home and do nothing. It's totally mind-blowing how we have this divide of people that are selfless and courageous and wonderful and willing to sell everything they own to come here and support, keep people from getting killed, to shelter kids and protect Ukrainians, and others that just, want to sit at home and not. It's just, it's an indictment of our entire